Most people want better focus. They want sharper thinking, better decisions, more mental clarity. So they try to do more. More tools, more techniques, more pressure. But high performers think differently. They don't push their brains harder. They protect something quieter. Something almost invisible. A habit so small. Most people ignore it. Yet it quietly improves. Mental performance. Intro context, 1:30 to 3 o'clock. This habit doesn't require motivation. You don't need discipline. You don't need willpower. You don't need an app. There's nothing to track. Nothing to optimize. And because it feels so simple, almost no one does it consistently. The habit defined, 3 to 4:30. The habit is called mental reset pauses. A mental reset pause is a short moment between tasks. A moment where you stop. Not to consume something. Not to distract yourself. Just to let the brain reset. That's it. No technique. No system. Just a pause. Before the next task begins. Why transitions matter, 4:30 to 6:30. Your brain works in modes. Each task activates a different mental state. Problem solving, writing, decision making, responding. When you jump immediately from one task to another, your brain doesn't switch cleanly. It drags the previous task into the next one. This creates friction. Not loud fatigue. Silent fatigue. The kind you don't notice until focus starts slipping. Short pauses act like mental transitions. They tell the brain, this task is done. Now we reset. That's why even a brief pause can restore clarity. Invisible fatigue explained, 6:30 to 8:30. Mental fatigue doesn't feel dramatic. It feels normal. You still work. You still respond. You still move. But small things change. You reread the same sentence. You hesitate longer. You miss small details. Decisions feel heavier. This isn't because you're weak. It's because the brain never got a reset. Mental reset pauses prevent fatigue before it becomes noticeable. What most people do, 8:30 to 10 o'clock. Most people don't pause. They finish a task and immediately reach for something else. Another tab. Another screen. Another notification. It feels efficient. It feels productive. But the brain never stops. No break. No reset. Over time, performance drops. Not suddenly. Gradually. So gradually that people assume this is just how work feels. The simple rule, 10 to 11:30. The rule is simple. After every task, pause for 60 to 90 seconds. No phone. No scrolling. No stimulation. Just stillness. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to exist. What to do during the pause, 11:30 to 1300 hours. During the pause, look away from the screen. Let your eyes rest. Breathe slowly. Not deeply. Not forcefully. Just slower than before. Let thoughts pass. Without following them. You don't need to clear your mind. You just need to stop feeding it. Why this habit is different, 13 to 14:30. Most habits ask you to do more. Wake earlier. Push harder. Optimize further. This habit does the opposite. It works because you remove effort. You remove noise. You remove constant input. And the brain responds naturally. Real-life effect, 14:30 to 16:30. People who use mental reset pauses often notice subtle changes. Fewer careless mistakes. Less mental overload. More stable focus. Work feels lighter. Not because the work changed, but because recovery improved. Common mistake, 16:30 to 17:30. The most common mistake is turning the pause into phone time. That's not a pause. That's just switching stimulation. The brain doesn't need novelty. It needs silence. How to start, 17:30 to 18:30. Start small. 3 pauses per day. After major tasks. No tracking. No pressure. Let it feel easy. Consistency matters more than duration. Long-term effect, 18:30 to 2000 hours. Over weeks. Mental fatigue decreases. Focus becomes steadier. You feel less drained. At the end of the day. Not dramatic. Just lighter. That's how real habits work. Quietly. Ending, 20 to 2100 hours. You don't need extreme habits to improve mental performance. Sometimes, the most powerful habit is simply knowing when to stop.